Hey everyone, happy
Hello.
Saturday.
We have a lot
Welcome.
here.
Yes, we have another familiar face back. I know you've missed her for the last couple of weeks. Everyone say hi to Carly.
Hi.
She's been off sailing. We'll get into where she's been in a few minutes, but I just want to start out by saying happy Saturday morning. Thank you for joining us, and want to give a shout out to some folks who have already been joining us in the chat. First and foremost, Matt Andrews out there. He's a big fan.
Ooh.
Um, Thank you for following Attractions Magazine all these years, and a big special thank you for that superfan donation. Thank you so much. We
Thank you,
really
Matt.
appreciate it. Michael Bingham, of course, is joining us. Here's the weather report. It is a beautiful day in Daytona Beach. It was a
Ooh.
little chilly this morning in Orlando, like mid 60s this morning, which is warm springtime for the rest of the country and a chilly morning for us. Uh, Blossom and Terry, they're in Derek's corner as always.
Yes. Hey guys.
Hello, everyone. Lon, thank you for joining
Thank
us.
you.
Um, yeah, so we've got more than a dozen people already in the chat. So why don't we just get this show started,
Do
shall
it.
we?
Yes.
All right. Here we go. And in 3, 2, and 1.
Please lower your head and watch your step while boarding.
Welcome to the Attractions Podcast. You are all clear for dispatch. Have fun.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 134 of the Attractions Podcast, sponsored by Destinations with Character Travel. I'm Seth.
And I'm Carly.
And we are here to talk to you about the latest and greatest in theme park news and more, as well as what's going on in our own lives. So, Carly, we've missed you the last couple
Yes.
weeks.
I missed
I had to fly solo last week, and
Oh.
it was not nearly as much fun as doing this show with you. So, how and where have you been?
Yeah, so if you noticed, I'm a little bit tanner. I went on my first sailing with Holland America, and it was amazing. I've cruised all growing up, but it's been about 6 years since my last cruise and my first time with them. And I have to say, it was incredible. The service, the food, it was awesome. Highly recommend them. And then I went to Disney World after I docked in Fort Lauderdale to do the Tower of Terror 10 miler and meet my family. And unfortunately, I did not wake up for the race, but I made great family memories.
That's what's more important. You bonded.
Yes. So I had a great time, and yes, so it was awesome. What about you?
It sounds fantastic. Well, we're so happy to have you
Yes.
back. I did not go on a cruise, unfortunately. I did get to spend a little time with my co-author Lillian. She writes the unofficial guide to Walt Disney World with kids. She was down here for a research trip, and we got to have a really wonderful dinner at Haleo and see Cirque du Soleil drawn to life. It was my second time seeing it, and I will say the very first time I saw it. I loved the show, but I was a little annoyed at some of the more theme parky elements. They kind of talk at a certain point in the show, and I like Cirque du Soleil best when they're not trying to speak English. But I did notice either I was in a better mood after our big meal at Haleo, or they've made some very slight tweaks to the show. But the bits that really annoyed me the first time didn't bother me as much this time, and
Oh,
it's still a really, really great show. So I definitely give a thumbs up to the new Cirque show over at Disney Springs.
that's good to know. I saw it once when it first opened
Mhm.
for that preview, and I loved it. I've seen a lot of Cirque du Soleil shows, mostly the ones in Las Vegas, and I really liked it. And I'm going for my second viewing in a couple of weeks, so
Awesome.
I'm excited to
Enjoy.
see how I, change my opinion on it.
Yeah, Cirque is one of those companies where you can see their shows. Each time you see it from a different seat, it feels like a different show. I saw it the last time from far back in the theater, which gives you a really good perspective on the scope of it, the scale, and you can see the acts up in the air really really, kind of widescreen. But sitting up close, I was in like the third row this time, and you get a lot more intimate interaction with the performers. Can see a lot of cute details, like the villain of the piece, this lady made out of garbage, carries a little purse that is made out of a giant pink eraser, and it says on it "Miss Hesitation." And I couldn't see that the first time I saw the show, sitting in the
Yeah,
back. So,
yeah, wow.
some neat little details you get to see. So yeah. You should definitely enjoy that. So normally this is where we jump right into the news. However, this week we've got a brand new sponsor, and I would like Carly to tell you folks all about them.
Yes, so we have a new sponsor. It is Aura Frames, and they are the world's smartest digital picture frame. So you've probably seen those frames that have, they're preloaded with your favorite family memories on it, and it kind of runs in rotation. Well, Aura Frames, they have a really modern design in itself, and the display, they're known for it being really sharp, bright, and vivid, and it's also really easy to set up, which is great if you are gifting it to an older member of your family, or a grandma who wants to have their grandkids pictures on there. And so it's been recommended by 130 plus gift guides and selected as one of Oprah's favorite things 3 years running. So they are also Wirecutter's #1 pick in digital picture frames, and have been recommended by the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, Forbes magazine, and just a ton of high-end home decor publications. And Mother's Day is coming up, so this could be that perfect gift. And it's easy for you because each frame comes in a beautiful gift box. There's no wrapping required, and so there's an Aura app. So basically you could privately share photos anywhere. So if you are setting this up for someone in your family, you can kind of go in, invite other family members, and they can contribute and add photos too. So this is really cool. They have unlimited photo and video storage. There's no subscription or any sort of hidden fees. So once you purchase it, that's all you're paying. You're not paying a monthly fee to access the app. And usually around the holidays, Christmas, Mother's Day, they are known to completely sell out. So if you want to be the star of your next family gathering and have everyone talking with the best gift, you can visit their site, and it is Aura Frames, AuraFrames.com.
Thank you so much to Aura Frames for your support. And now, without any further ado, let's get into the news. We're going to start out this week with something that could be really big news for citizens of Central Florida area. Disney World has earmarked 80 acres for affordable housing development, and will be building more than 1,300 housing units with creative Disney touches in Southwest Orange County, Florida, not far from Flamingo Crossing. And these are going to be for lower income residents, and including Disney cast members, but also the general public.
Yeah, this is really cool. So again, it's not just for cast members, and Disney's going to work closely with a third-party affordable housing developer. So they're kind of the experts in that world, and then Disney will, of course, bring their innovation and attention to detail. So we're hoping for some little Disney magic touches along the way. The rendering looks really cool. Kind of reminds me of maybe Disney Springs-ish, or
Exactly. I was going to say, looks very much like Disney Springs, or some of the updates going on to downtown Disney and
yeah.
Disneyland. There's water. There's a lot of green space. And then kind of these traditional styled buildings. And it's all, like I said, near Flamingo Crossing, so you'll have access to that shopping area. And of course, it's really convenient to the Disney attractions for people who are going to work there.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's like such a good location, because if you rely on public transportation, I think this is also kind of a win-win.
Hmm. So we don't have specific details on exactly what affordable means. There are standards in the state of Florida for what that means, but we don't know exact pricing or layouts of any of these apartments yet. But this is kind of part of a program that Disney's doing in various locations, making investments in affordable housing. They've also, in Anaheim, California, been working with the Buena Esperanza project, which has converted studio apartments into a community for veterans and homeless individuals. That's planned to be complete early summer, 100 units in Anaheim. And they also make donations, hundreds of $1 million, through the Disney Volunteers program.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is just so important because we know that Orlando is a tourist hub, but it wouldn't be anything without the amazing people that work, not just at Disney World, but in all the restaurants and everywhere. And so they don't want to be traveling an hour and a half into work each day for their commute. So
It's becoming a real issue. All
right,
of the major theme parks in Orlando have been increasing their starting salaries, but it's just not keeping up with the increase rents. I hear all the time people saying that their rent is going up hundreds of dollars each month. Huge percentage increases, and it's not like you can just go down the block and rent from someone else because there's just not enough housing stock for people who work entry level jobs, even people who work mid level jobs. It's getting really hard to
right.
afford. So hopefully this will kind of kickstart a little competition in the apartment industry. And we should also mention that Universal Orlando announced not long ago that it was doing its own affordable housing project, 20 acres, 1,000 units, near International Drive, and they're starting construction on that this year. So fingers crossed, a little more affordable housing stock coming to Orlando because we need it.
Absolutely. I mean, I think this is also up for approval, but hopefully
Yeah,
it will happen and bring a little bit of comfort and convenience to the people that, make the magic in the area.
absolutely. Next up, Disney Plus is now offering its subscribers discounts on Walt Disney World hotel rooms. This is the first time ever that Disney Plus subscribers can get discounts of up to 25% off rooms in select Walt Disney World resort hotels.
Yes.
Um,
This
Now
is
it's
really
only
cool.
yeah, it's only 25% only on the deluxe resorts and the villas. It goes down to 15% at the values and 10% at the Fort Wilderness campsites. But if you don't have a Disney Plus subscription yet, maybe this is another good reason to get one.
Right. Yeah. And so they did say if you want to sign up to get this deal, you could sign up and instantly access it as long
Mhm.
because it's all linked to your same Disney account email. And, this is kind of along the lines of what Florida resident and annual pass holders get as their discount. So this is, I feel like, really attractive for people that maybe are planning their once a year trip from out of town. They don't have annual passes, but they likely probably have Disney Plus. So if you are calling by phone, just know it does take 1 hour once you register for that Disney Plus account for it to be able to kind of get into the system and you'd access that discount. But you can also book multiple trips, which I was kind of surprised when I saw that. So if it is within that time period, you can book more than one trip.
Yeah, and the way I read this is that you just have to be a subscriber when you are making your booking. So
Right.
theoretically, you can sign up for a month or so, make your booking, arrange your vacation, and then it doesn't mean that you're locked into having to subscribe to Disney Plus for life. Though there is a lot of good content on there.
Yes. I don't think you're going to arrive and they're going to ask you to pull up
Oh,
your.
actually, you know what? I am totally wrong. I stand corrected. In the fine print, it does say that proof of valid Disney Plus subscription
Oh,
may be required at the time of arrival. So
oh,
in addition to when
don't
you book,
cancel.
at also the time of your arrival. So you're gonna have to hold on to that subscription at least until you check in at your hotel, but then you can go ahead and cancel, I
Right. Yes. But you could prep for
guess.
your trip with lots of good movies.
But seriously, Obi-Wan is coming out. Who would want to cancel?
Yes.
All right. Next up, a Frozen Land is now under construction at Disneyland Paris Resort. They've finally broken ground on the upcoming Frozen theme land that is going to immerse guests in the mythical Kingdom of Arendelle at the Walt Disney Studios Park in Paris.
Yes. So the experience will begin as guests kind of make their way along this promenade. There's going to be lush landscaping, themed gardens, and it kind of sounds absolutely perfect with the overall vibe and aesthetic of Disneyland Paris already. I mean,
Hmm.
I think it's one of the most magical looking fairy tale like Disney parks there are. The new promenade will transition point for guests to enter the kingdom of Arendelle and be fully immersed in the environment. And there is going to be, which I'm really excited about, an Art Nouveau style table service restaurant that's going to have kind of panoramic views of the
Hmm.
water lake, and it's going to be table service. So I think this is really exciting for Disneyland Paris because the table service dining dramatically needs improvement.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is a huge restaurant. It's 250
250.
suite seats. That's a big restaurant. And I will say, having visited Disneyland Paris, there are lots of things I love about that resort. The food is not one of them. In the you've got Waltz, which just reopened, which is a fantastic restaurant. Counter service in that park, that whole resort leaves a lot to be desired. And in the Studios Park in particular, you've got a wonderful restaurant attached to the Ratatouille ride,
Mhm.
and then a whole lot of nothing. So this will definitely help out with the eating situation, um, and this is going to be looking out over this new lake that they are constructing, and the centerpiece of this whole land is a 131-foot snow-covered mountain, topped with Elsa's ice palace, which should certainly be a lot more dramatic facade for the attraction than the Norway Pavilion in Epcot is.
Oh, yes, and, like, to put into relation, 131 feet, Cinderella Castle is 180, and that's just the top of the peak. So if you kind
Hmm.
of imagine Cinderella Castle just without that top center,
Yeah.
that's gonna be the mountain, and it's gonna be, widespread. So I think that's gonna be really cool, just a new little focal point in the
Now, I
park.
don't I don't know if they've really released in-depth details on what attractions are going to be involved. I think we were all assuming that that big mountain is going to have a version of the boat ride that we have here in Epcot, and there also mentions a new outdoor attraction that will take guests on a journey with characters from the Frozen animated movies. So I guess we're going to have to wait and see some more details on that. But of course, there's going to be shops and eating and all the things you need to make a land in a Disney park. And This is just part of the expansions going on there. They've got an Avengers campus, which is opening up this summer. They're renovating the Disneyland Hotel, and they've got the 30th anniversary celebration going on right now. So check in with destinations with character travel. It sounds like a good time to be visiting Disneyland Paris.
Yes, there's a lot going on, and Disney Village definitely needs that upgrade too, so it's gonna be awesome. They're gonna shine.
Mickey and Friends X Camp, an extra big adventure as immersive experience is opening in New York City. It will open on May 28th at the Camp Retail and Media Center's flagship store on Fifth Avenue, and it is a family-friendly immersive play world featuring Mickey and Friends.
Yeah, so this seems really cool, totally for the family, and participants will be guided through a narrative driven and interactive adventure by a camp counselor. So your family will be immersed in the Disney magic. There's going to be slides, zip, bounce, and dance through themed environments. So this sounds really cool. I don't even know what I could possibly compare it to without seeing more pictures, but there's going to be photo ops and I think they're going to have a lot of merch too. So I think this is really fun if you're visiting New York or you're up in
Mhm.
that area and you want to get your Disney fix.
Yeah,
Uh,
it sounds like sort of like a cross between one of these pop-up Instagram museums
Yeah.
meets a family entertainment center, and with a big dash of quote unquote Disney magic. Uh, it's a 1 hour immersive experience, and they say it's appropriate for ages 2 and up. Though there are flashing lights and loud noises. But you're going to be able to buy tickets for this starting on April 15th. But if you're a D23 or DVC member, you can go online right now and be part of the pre-sale. Um, I personally am not very familiar with the Camp brand, but if you want to learn more about them, you can find out at camp.com. Are you a Camp fan?
I did not ever hear of the brand until I read this story the other day, and I was like, I consider myself pretty up on what's going on. I have never heard of them. So maybe when I'm home over the summer, I will borrow one of my cousins and check this
Yes.
out.
Um, yeah. So obviously, this if neither of us really knew about Camp beforehand, but now we're interested. This advertising is working,
Yes.
and this is actually going to be the first of several Disney-themed camp experiences in 2022. After its temporary visit to the Fifth Avenue, New York location, it's going to go to other camp locations across the country. So stay tuned. Um, Next up, another interactive experience in New York. This one themed to Batman is coming to Skyscape in New York City. Batman X Skyscape is an all-new interactive Batman experience from Warner Brothers Themed Entertainment, DC, and Spyscape, and it's going to put fans in the middle of a Gotham City mystery when it launches in New York City this summer.
Yeah, so if you're familiar with the Spyscape Spy Museum, which is in Midtown Manhattan, this is going to give visitors opportunities to uncover their spy skills through physical and digital experiences based on spy and superhero narratives. So this is really cool if you're a huge Batman fan to kind of get involved. There's going to be a top secret mission that will challenge guests to infiltrate Leviathan, an underworld organization intent on disrupting the superhero and supervillain communities.
Yeah.
So this is another. I mean, we just see every week. I feel like there's a new immersive experience coming
Yeah.
somewhere around the world. So I guess this is what the future is for us.
Yeah, Batman is definitely having a moment right now,
Yes.
and this is going to let you team up with Oracle, better known as Barbara Gordon or Batman,
Mhm.
and you're going to both interact with physical experiences and also be able to use an augmented reality app to gather intel and communicate with Gotham City characters. And it's got an original narrative written by Gail Simone, who writes Batgirl and Wonder Woman.
Mhm.
So definitely some authentic comic roots there. If you want to head on over to our website and read the article, you can find a link to sign up for early access to this event. There's going to be more details coming out soon.
Yes, I think this is cool. They have kind of an all-star team behind them, so you know it's going to be done right.
All right, this is very exciting. The Super Nintendo World Store is now open at Universal Studios Hollywood. As of April 8th, the Universal Studios Hollywood's feature presentation store, which is located just inside the park's main gates, is now featuring Super Nintendo World merchandise, getting us all ready for the opening of Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios Hollywood in 2023.
Yes, this is so exciting. If you were at the park, visited it in last fall, they had kind of a pop up. And
Mhm.
so a lot of the same merch is back. Some of the character tees, the hat, some of the Super Nintendo World branded merch, but now there's more stuff according to the photos. And I'm really excited. It was really hard to not buy every single item last fall. So just kept it cool with a keychain and a Nintendo World shirt. So this is very exciting. It's when you enter Universal Studios Hollywood, it's just on the right, the feature
Mhm.
store. So it's across from the main studio store, and this is exciting. It's getting us kind of ready for next year.
Yeah, they've got new caps, shirts, plush characters that feature Mario, Luigi, Bowser, Yoshi, Princess Peach, and even more. The one item that I haven't seen on sale yet is the power-up bands, which are these magic band style wristbands that you're going to be able to use to interact with the land. Looks like they're holding that off a little closer till uh, the attraction's ready to open. But this is definitely revving up the hype machine. We don't have an exact date for the actual land to open. It's sometime in 2023, but I hear whispers that they might try to do some previews or soft openings before the end of this year. So
Yes, that's fun.
definitely excited to see that.
Me too. Yeah, and I know they're probably trying to get their technology up to date. The Universal Studios Hollywood app hasn't always been the most user friendly. I think my internet
Oh, they
finally loaded in there, so they have some time because
yeah.
it's such an important element of the land.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen great things about the augmented reality and interactivity that you can do at Super Nintendo World in Japan, and I'm really excited for all that to make its way over to this country.
It's exciting.
Yeah. Coney Island has opened early for the 2022 season. It moved up the opening date of the iconic New York amusement park or amusement area. And thrill seekers are now welcome as of April 2nd. The season reopening kicked off with the annual egg cream christening of the Coney Island Cyclone, honoring the roller coaster's 95th year.
Yes, and so the first 95 guests got to ride for free, and they also were given a complimentary egg cream. Have you ever had an egg cream?
I have I do not have actual egg in my egg creams. If you're not from the New York area, an egg cream is like a chocolate soda.
Yes.
Yeah, traditionally made with U-Bet's chocolate syrup,
Mhm.
which no one outside the New York, New Jersey area has
No,
ever heard of.
it's great. It's like carbonated milkshakey. That's
Yes.
what I said.
Yes, and
It
it's wonderful,
it
but I
is.
really hope that they had that after the ride, not before. Because can you
Oh,
imagine, like, drinking an egg cream and then getting on the cyclone and just
oh
spray in
my
every direction?
that would not be
Not
good.
be good. No, no. Um, but, eh, so Luna Park in Coney Island, reopened, and as well on April 10th, which is, well, tomorrow from when we're recording this, or probably yesterday for when you're listening to it.
Right.
April 10th is the opening day for Deno's Wonder Wheel Park, and the traditional Wonder Wheel celebrating its 102nd anniversary, allowing the first 102 guests to ride. Can you imagine a ride that's over 100 years old?
No, I mean, and these are just such historic places that if
Mhm.
you are ever find yourself in Manhattan, take the subway, go there just to see it because it's really like it's a time capsule
Yeah. And
walking in.
speaking of time capsule, the Coney Island History Project is going to have a booth set up in front of the park, and they are also going to be showing films depicting the area's past for free on weekends and holidays from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. Between Memorial Day weekend and Labor Day weekend. So that's a great way of checking out the past of this very important historic area.
Absolutely, yeah, and so the Brooklyn Cyclones are back too. That's their minor league baseball team, and then they're going to be doing family-friendly promotional nights that are going to take place throughout the season. They're going to have even a Peppa Pig appearance, which is
Woo!
exciting. There's going to be a Looney Tunes night, DC Comics Superhero Day. So it's back. Baseball's back. Coney
Yep.
Island's back. So should be a fun summer.
And while you're there, you might want to check out the New York Aquarium's newly completed Playquarium. It's opening up this spring, and it's going to be the aquarium's first bilingual English-Spanish installation. So your kids can learn how animals communicate underwater and help some scientists search for bioluminescent fish, which
Ooh,
sounds fun.
sounds fun.
So yeah, the amusement attractions are all going to be open by April 15th through April 24th, and then it's going to run weekends through Memorial Day, and then 7 days a week starting May 27th through the end of the season. So Coney Island, if you get a chance, check it out.
Yes, it's a must.
Also, if you happen to be in South Korea, check out Lotte World. That amusement park has operated in Seoul since 1989, and now they have a second Lotte World in Busan, It opened as of March 31st. Lotte World Adventure Busan.
Yes, and this place looks really whimsical. I love the designs and the pictures that we've seen. So it has this kind of garden aesthetic.
Mhm.
It took them 5 years to design and construct it, and it is definitely a colorful contrast to the gray tone coloring of the Busan, urban landscape.
Yes, absolutely. The park features 6 theme zones. There's the River Village of Tinker Falls, which has a ogre's flume ride. Rainbow Springs, Wonder Woods, which features a Mac Power Splash, and the first roller coaster restaurant in Asia. Queen's Lorry Royal Garden, Joyful Meadows, the Thrill Seeker's Paradise of Underland, which features a giant swing and a giant digger multi-looping coaster. And yeah, all of this, it's very unique, very Korean. They're not IPs that Americans are going to necessarily recognize. Though there is a family ride inspired by Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake. So there are not a lot of theme parks around the world with ballet themed attractions.
No, and
Got
I'm
to
excited
appreciate that.
for the roller coaster restaurant. So our friends that go to Alton Towers,
Hmm.
I'm sure they've been. I haven't been, but it is high on my list as soon as I get over to the UK next. So if you're not familiar, a roller coaster restaurant, your food is delivered on a roller coaster track to you.
It's
And so now,
amazing.
yeah, so I think this is the first one in Asia because I think they're in
Hmm.
Germany, UK. So that's kind of an exciting addition.
Yeah, I can't believe we don't have one of those in Orlando yet. Seems natural, right?
Make it happen, please.
So if you are interested, make sure you go online to adventure.lotteworld.com before you head over there because admission tickets for the first few weeks have already sold out. Looks like it's going to be really popular. And if you do want to go to Busan, you might not want to take the train. That's a zombie movie joke for some of you out there. Next up, Sesame Street Kids Weekends is returning to Busch Gardens Williamsburg's. Busch Gardens Williamsburg is got Sesame Street Kids Weekend in full swing now, running every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this month through April 24th. From everyday heroes to furry friendships, they have themed weekends geared to youngsters featuring dance parties, a flower maze, crafts, and the fan favorite show, Let's Play Together.
Yes, so there's going to be more than 15 family-friendly rides and shows are already in the park. So and then this is a good time to visit because of their
Mhm.
new multi-launch coaster. So kind of
Yeah.
something for the adults for the thrills, and then we have the kids entertained. So it's a good time to visit Busch Gardens Williamsburg.
Yes, absolutely. You can drop the kids on Grover's Alpine Express, which is the little kiddie coaster, and then you can head on over to Pantheon, which opened up on March 25th. So this weekend, right now, from the 8th to the 10th, is Everyday Heroes Weekends, which features a scavenger hunt with Super Grover. Easter weekend, you get to join Elmo and Cookie Monster with some Easter themes, arts and crafts. And April 22nd through the 24th is Furry Friendship Weekend featuring Abby, Rosita, and Zoe.
Yes, this is the time to go. So, children ages 3 to 5 can get a limited time preschool pass, and this will
Mhm.
allow for unlimited admission, which is really cool. And it also includes the water park, Water Country USA. And the pass is available through October 31st,
Mhm.
2022, this year. And you can kind of just register online, pay at the park by, I think, May 31st, activate
Mhm.
the card, and it's the time to go there now. They're really doing well, especially with their festivals they've been having lately, really amping up their seasonal offerings, which is exciting to see.
Yeah, and they're also running right now a 20% off spring sale on their memberships, their seasonal passes. Um, so head on over to buschgardens.com for all of the details. And Brian chimes in. Yes, I have a soft spot also for Busch Gardens Williamsburg. I went to college in William and Mary, and Busch Gardens was the first theme park I ever worked for. So I haven't been there in way too long. I miss it.
Same. I know. I almost feel guilty because we're from up there. I'm like, I have to get
I
there,
know. Mythica, World of Mythical Creatures, is getting its first new attraction at Legoland Windsor. On April 30th, the Magical Forest immersive walkthrough experience is opening up in Legoland Windsor Resort, joining the existing attractions in the Mythica World of Magical Creatures land.
Yes, so kids and grown-ups can delight in this self-guided walkthrough as they meet weird and wonderful characters built from Lego bricks. So there's going to be Bits and Bobs, Flowerhorn, baby lava dragons, and this is all set in the world fueled by imagination.
Yeah, so this is a physical environment that you can walk through, but there's also going to be augmented reality opportunities that you can use your smartphone to interact with the environment, playing a Venus flytrap game and watching the bits and bobs come to life. There's going to be lots to discover, including a mysterious lava dragon cave where lava dragons will swoop and sail overhead. That sounds pretty impressive.
Yes, this sounds amazing. Maybe we'll see it in Legoland US properties soon.
Yeah. So this is part of the Mythica Land, which in Legoland Windsor sort of has similar attraction to the Lego Movie Land that we have in the
Yes.
Florida park, because it's got a 4D flying theater, which is themed to the flight of the Sky Lion. It's also got a fire and ice freefall drop tower and Hydra Challenge water ride. So basically the same basic styles of attractions
Right.
that we have in our Lego Movie Land, but just with the Mythica theme. So this will really flesh that area out and give it something unique. Tickets to Legoland Windsor start at only £29 or $38. And you can find out more about it by visiting legoland.co.uk. All right, you better lace up your running shoes
Too
because
soon.
yeah, if you missed out on your Tower of Terror 10K 10 mile.
10 miles.
Well, Lord of the Rings has a virtual challenge where fitness meets fantasy. The Lord of the Rings movie trilogy is the inspiration for a new virtual fitness challenge that puts the fate of the One Ring in the hands and feet of participants with the goal of taking it all the way to Mordor. And oh boy, are you going to have to travel a long way to complete this new 5 challenge event from The Conqueror, creators of the virtual challenges in international gamified fitness events, and Warner Brothers Consumer Products.
Yes, so my jaw kind of dropped when I saw what these Lord of the Rings challenge and trail lengths were. So the first challenge, so this is just the first one, starts at 145 miles, or that's 233 kilometers. And that's just the first one.
Yeah,
And then
so the idea of this is that you are replicating the journey that the characters take, that Frodo and Samwise take, all the way from Bag End in the Shire, all the way to the fires of Mount Doom, and you know, reading the books. It goes on forever. They walk and they walk and they walk.
right.
But someone has figured out using the maps that J.R.R. Tolkien drew exactly how long those distances were. And oh my gosh, 145 miles is only the first challenge.
Right.
All right, and that only takes you from Hobbiton to Bree.
Yes.
Uh,
I think it's important to note you can also bike, swim. So biking might be your best bet if you want to get this done before, maybe the next couple decades.
oh yes, but there are different numbers that you have to hit depending on your transportation method. So for instance, the second challenge, which is taking you from the Prancy Pony to the Doors of Durin. If you're walking, hiking, running, swimming, whatever, you only have to do 98 miles. No problem, right?
Only.
Yeah, that's only like 4 marathons. No big deal. But if you are cycling, you have to go 680 miles
Yes.
or 1,094 kilometers. Okay. Now, you haven't even gotten to the Mines of Moria yet. The Mines
No,
of Moria, that's 40 miles. And if you
that's
want to do
easy.
it
Yeah.
authentically, you have to do it underground. I just added that. That's not actually part of it. You want to make it to the Eye of Sauron? That's another 95 miles on foot or 668 miles on a cycle. And finally,
Ooh,
it's, by that time, just making it from Mordor to Mount Doom, easy. 282 miles, no problem.
so easy.
I think you have pretty much circled the entire globe by the time you finish this off, right?
Yes. I mean, I will say the medals are very cool.
Yeah. If you manage to complete it for each portion of the journey, you get a tailor-made medal and you get a ring at the end of the first challenge. you get 5 medals for completing all 5.
Yeah.
And you also get stories and postcards along the way to kind of help motivate you to keep going. Um, but yeah, this is epic. This is
Yeah,
if anyone is listening and wants to participate in this,
let us
please
know.
share your journey with us.
I mean, I
Um,
feel like this could go TikTok viral if someone is trying to do
oh
this.
my gosh. Yeah,
Yeah,
oh, absolutely.
I
You could totally start a web series about this.
right. I would definitely tune in because this is pretty crazy. And so if you want to do it, you can also enlist friends. And so basically all of your activity is going to be tracked via
Mhm.
an app on your Android or Apple device. And they are also trying to be eco-friendly aspect to their challenge. So for every 20% of a trail each participant completes, the conqueror will plant a tree or stop 10 plastic bottles from entering the ocean. So you're doing good too.
That's really cool. So, you can sign up either for just one challenge or you can sign up for the whole bundle of 5. And this is for a limited time only. So if you want more details about this, go to theconquerorevents.com. And our last bit, I can speak English today, really, I can. Our last bit of news in the queue, behind the scenes photos from the Jumanji Dark Ride, which opened today, April 9th. This is located in the Gardaland Resort in Italy, and it looks really amazing.
Yeah,
We associate these kind of e-ticket dark rides with Universal or Disney parks. This is a great example of an independent European park building something that looks to compete with those kind of attractions.
right. And if you kind of looked at pictures or have seen any of the previews, it's kind of the ride vehicles remind me a lot of Dinosaur or Indiana.
Yes, they're like baby versions of the indie movers.
Yes. And
Absolutely.
so since Italy is significantly ahead of us in time, I started looking for some YouTube point of view videos.
Oh yes.
Nothing came up yet.
Nothing yet.
No,
All right.
nothing yet. So hopefully by the time this episode comes out, we'll at least get to see or get a
Yeah.
little taste of what you can experience on this attraction. But I
Yeah,
feel
I
like,
do know one of the designers is on my Twitter feed, and he posted a photo of the outside this morning, saying that it was finally open. So
wow.
um, it's it's interesting. So it's a dark ride, 940 feet of track. You've got a mix of physical effects, audio, video effects, some really big creatures. There's this giant hippopotamus
Yes.
that you can see big enough to swallow a person. And the signature animatronic is the stone giant, which you're going to narrowly escape in the jungle. He's got a big mouth with lots of teeth, and he's also got a big hand that I think this kind of grabs out at you. There's also spiders and all sorts of other creepy crawlies that will try to stop you in your mission. It's a $121 million dollar ride, which is a big investment for a European park. And they've even got 4 Jumanji themed suites in their Gardaland hotel if you want to live the Jumanji adventure overnight.
Yes. I think if I'm going, I would want to do that because I want to
Yeah,
be fully immersed in it.
absolutely.
This looks amazing. Like I said, I can't wait to see some video that comes out because I have high hopes for it, especially with the price tag that we're going to be getting a really awesome e-ticket attraction.
Yeah, I in my European trips, Disneyland Paris, obviously, there are great
Mhm.
parks in Germany, but I've never really had Italy on my radar. But this might change that next
Yes,
time
I,
I'm
I
there.
agree with you. Yeah, you don't really, think of that.
Hmm. All right, well, that is about it for the news in the queue this week. But before we get into this week's main attraction, I think it's time for us to hear a quick word from our sponsor.
Here at Destinations with Character Travel, we offer the best experience with your travels. Need to visit the thrilling Disneyland Resort, Walt Disney World? Maybe lounge about on a Disney cruise or any other major cruise line? No problem. So if you're looking for a stress and hassle-free vacation, visit us at www.destinationswithcharacter.com. Contact us today and let us plan a magical vacation for you and your family.
It's time for the main attraction!
Okay, for this week's main attraction, the worst kept news in the theme park industry, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind has an opening date of May 27th, 2022. Yes,
Shocker.
it was let slip by one of the executives in a social media post not long ago. He was quickly deleted, but there are screenshots. So it's no big
Lasts forever.
surprise. May 27th, which is Memorial Day weekend, is the grand opening for the long-awaited indoor roller coaster at Epcot, themed to Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, we have been waiting so long. So this is very, very exciting. So basically, if you're a Disney fan, I would be on the lookout for annual pass holder registration. We only got a preview
Mhm.
email. We don't know when those links are going up. D23 members, however, can sign up for a special event Tuesday, which is tomorrow, once this
Mhm.
goes live, and you'll get a chance to be one of the first to ride it. Thinking probably after the cast member previews, they'll have that. And then this
Mhm.
event, I think the D23 event is May 15th. It's actually a pretty good deal. You get, gift card and whatnot. And then we'll, keep our eyes peeled for when those links drop for APs.
Yeah, I'm a D23 member, and I saw that, and at first I was like, no, I'm not paying to ride a ride that I can go ride for free in a couple weeks. But it includes a gift card for
Yeah,
food so that's like $20 right off of the price right there.
right.
And
Yeah, pretty good deal.
if considering, I'm sure that when this ride actually opens, it's gonna probably be individual lightning lane, and it's probably gonna be about $20 to ride it. Doesn't sound like a bad deal.
No,
Um,
I will say whenever I've tried to register for a very big deal D23 event like this, I've never been able to get into it. I
no.
wanted to go on the Jungle Cruise one last summer at Disneyland, and I
Hmm.
was so excited, I couldn't get in. So your best bet if you can't get in is the annual pass holder previews. A
Yeah.
lot of people reached out to ask me about park reservations. If you get into an annual pass holder preview, it includes your park reservation. So you don't have to worry about, oh, I have to make a reservation too. If you can get into one of those annual pass holder previews, that's
Yeah.
also taken care of.
Yeah. That's definitely good to know. And if you're an annual pass holder, those annual pass holder previews are limited. They do book up. And so this might also be a good time to go in and, maybe not make a reservation for the 27th, because unless you have to be there for work related purposes, you might
Yeah.
want to wait a couple days. But if you're looking to go to Epcot in that last week of May, or first week of June, grab those park reservations now while they're still available for sure.
Yes.
They've also released a teaser video, which is a little commercial that maybe gives us a little hint of what the plot line is. It looks like time is rewinding, and the Xandarians, who have an outpost at Epcot, are disappearing, and they need the help of the Guardians to rewind time. Um, what I thought was interesting is that's a really, really well produced. I'm not going to play it for copyright reasons, but
Right.
heading over to YouTube, it's a really well produced commercial. And I wish that
I have loved them. Yes.
the same folks who did this should have done the first set of advertising for Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser, because they would have gotten a much more positive
Well,
reception if this is the kind of footage that was
right.
out.
Especially this one, though we're losing time on. I watched a few times in a row because I was like, this is incredible. And that was my first thought too. I was like, dang, they should have used this
Yeah.
team for Galactic Star Cruiser. And the other one that starts with the morphed version of the 50th anniversary commercial is
Mm,
really cool. So they've really done a good job to
yeah.
hype us up and get us ready for May 27th.
Now, something interesting. I know we've heard that footage for this attraction was being shot while they were shooting the third Guardians of the Galaxy film. But at least for this commercial, it doesn't look like Chris Pratt himself had anything to do with it. You see
No,
Star-Lord, but he's very,
in the mask.
in the mask.
In the mask.
And I'm not even sure if that's Bradley Cooper doing uh, doing Rocket's
Rocket.
voice or not. It could be just a very, very good Bradley Cooper impersonator.
Right.
It's a little hard to tell.
I
Um,
mean, these days you never know. There's such
yeah.
great voiceover actors that,
Yeah, well, licensing is different for the actual attraction versus
Mhm.
the advertising for the attraction.
Right.
So a lot of times someone can be in the ride itself, but you're not going to see or hear them in the commercials. But either way, this is definitely it's gotten me more hyped for the ride. It's been so long since this has been under development and being teased that some of my enthusiasm had worn off. But this commercial definitely kind of got me jazzed to stand in a ridiculously long line for this,
Yes. I am
or wake
too.
up at 7 a.m. to hit a virtual
Ooh,
queue button. I'm
yes.
not looking forward. That's just a rumor. I'm not saying that's confirmed, but I think there's a good chance we could be going back to the bad old days of Rise of the Resistance with having to do those 7 a.m. virtual boarding groups again.
And I didn't mind them. There is a sort of thrill to it when you were kind of gathered around, the Black Spire outpost and everyone's screaming that got it. It was kind of exciting. But
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, there was like a communal thing when it was
yes,
in the park, but
right,
then when it became just something that you would wake up at 7 a.m. at home, hit the button, be disappointed, and just go back to sleep.
yes,
I spent a lot of 7 a.m. mornings doing that.
yes. But this is exciting. This is probably the first time I've been this excited for an attraction in a long time. Probably since Hagrid's. I know that we talked about
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Probably since then. So I am ready. I'm ready to defend the galaxy.
yeah. It's been a long time coming from with this attraction. It feels like every step along the way, uh, you know, we've had some negative feedback when the spaceship went that's the prop that sits out front. When
Yeah.
that went up, people were complaining that it wasn't magically floating in the air, but we just saw they allowed a few people, some influencer types,
Yes.
into the first room of the queue in the pre-show, and there is this domed ceiling projection that's almost like a giant planetarium, that looks absolutely fantastic. To me, I know it's not. We're never going to get back the Epcot of 1982, but to me, that room that we've seen footage of does have kind of that vintage Epcot vibe
It
of
does.
that.
I got a little bit of Horizons because that was
Yeah.
my favorite.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I think we will be pleased with.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of little Easter eggs, little references to hopefully Universe of Energy and other old Epcot attractions hidden throughout this. It might just be fan service, but I'm a fan and I don't mind being serviced.
Right. Same. Excited.
Okay, well, I think that is going to just about wrap it up for this week. Before we go, I want to thank our sponsor, Destination with Character Travel, once again, and also thank our new sponsor, Aura Frames. And I also want to remind everyone to please head on over to Apple Podcasts to give us a review and also leave us a rating on Spotify. It does really help us get the word out. If you want to find more coverage from us and Attractions Magazine on the interwebs, you can find me on Twitter at the UG Series, at the Unofficial Guides on Instagram, or at theunofficialguides.com. Carly, where can folks find you?
Yes. So I am on Twitter at Carly Caramana and Instagram Adventures by Carly.
And you can find attractionsmagazine.com, at Attractions on Twitter, at Attractions Magazine on Instagram, and youtube.com, Attractions Magazine. And until next week, I hope all you folks stay safe, try something new, but most importantly, have fun, and we will see you all next time. Bye.
See you next week.